I want to make Ifeoma ugly. I want men to see her as ugly and leave her alone. This is dangerous magic. It will bring you trouble. Are you sure you want this? Yes, I want it. In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, there lived a young woman named Ifeoma. Her beauty was like a rare flower that bloomed in a secret garden. Her skin was dark and smooth like rich cocoa, and her eyes sparkled like the brightest stars in the night sky. Her smile was warm and welcoming, lighting up even the gloomiest day. Whenever Ifeoma would walk past the busy markets and crowded streets, people would stop and stare. They whispered about her beauty and grace. Men often praised her and dreamed of making her their wife. Ifeoma's parents were proud of her and often boasted about her to their friends. Despite the attention, Ifeoma was humble and kind. She helped her mother with the housework and cared for her younger siblings. She loved her family deeply and always put them first. Ifeoma knew many men wanted to marry her, but she was waiting for true love. Every day, suitors came to Ifeoma's parents' house, hoping to win her heart. They brought gifts like yams, colorful clothes, and money. They tried to impress her parents with their wealth and charm. Ifeoma's parents were pleased with the gifts, but always told the suitors that Ifeoma had to make her own choice. Ifeoma met many of these suitors. Some were kind and respectful, while others were just boastful and proud. She listened to them politely but never felt a connection with any of them. She often wondered if she would ever find true love. One evening, a wealthy merchant named Chike came to visit. He brought so many gifts and spoke of his grand house and riches. Ifeoma's parents were impressed, but Ifeoma felt uneasy. Chike seemed more interested in showing off his wealth than in getting to know her. She kindly told him she was not ready to marry yet, and he left disappointed. During her National Youth Service Corps, Ifeoma was posted to a small town in the east. There, she met a kind and handsome young man named Emeka. Emeka was also serving his NYSC year and worked in the same office as Ifeoma. He was smart, funny, and always willing to help others. Ifeoma and Emeka became friends quickly. They often walked together after work, talking about their dreams and plans for the future. Emeka told Ifeoma about his dream of becoming a successful engineer and helping his family. Ifeoma shared her own dreams of starting a business and making a difference in her community. As the months passed, their friendship grew stronger. They enjoyed each other's company and supported each other in their work. One evening, as they watched the sunset together, Emeka confessed his feelings for Ifeoma. He told her he loved her and wanted to be with her. Ifeoma felt her heart flutter. She realized she loved Emeka too. Before their NYSC year ended, Emeka had to move to the United States for a job opportunity. He was excited about the future, but sad to leave Ifeoma. They spent their last days together, making memories and promising to stay in touch. On their last evening together, Emeka took Ifeoma's hand and looked into her eyes. Ifeoma, I love you more than anything. I promise I will be back in December to visit your parents and start our marriage preparation. Will you wait for me? He asked. Ifeoma's eyes filled with tears and joy. She nodded and said, Yes, Emeka, I will wait for you. I love you too. They hugged tightly, knowing they would be apart for a while, but confident in their love. Back in Lagos, Ifeoma had a childhood friend named Amara. They had grown up together and shared many happy memories. Amara was also beautiful, but she was always jealous of Ifeoma. She envied the attention Ifeoma received and wished she could be the one everyone admired. When Amara heard that Emeka had chosen Ifeoma instead of her, her jealousy grew stronger. She couldn't understand why Emeka loved Ifeoma. Amara felt bitterness in her heart and began to distance herself from Ifeoma. One day, as Ifeoma was preparing to visit Emeka's family, Amara came to see her. She pretended to be happy for Ifeoma, but her smile was fake. "Ifeoma, you are so lucky. Emeka is a great man. I hope you two will be very happy," she said, hiding her true feelings. Ifeoma smiled and thanked her friend. She didn't notice the jealousy in Amara's eyes. She believed Amara was genuinely happy for her and appreciated her friend's support. Amara's envy soon turned into anger. She couldn't stand the thought of Ifeoma being happy with Emeka. One night, she decided to visit a local witch who was known for her dark magic. The witch lived in a hidden part of Lagos, far from the busy streets. Amara walked through narrow, winding paths until she reached the witch's hut. The witch was old and mysterious, with piercing eyes that seemed to see through Amara's soul. "What do you want?" the witch asked in a raspy voice. "I want you to make Ifeoma ugly," Amara said, her voice trembling with anger. "I want men to see her as ugly and leave her alone." The witch looked at Amara carefully. "This is dangerous magic. It will bring you trouble. Are you sure you want this?" she warned. Amara nodded, her mind clouded with jealousy. "Yes, I want it," she insisted. The witch sighed and agreed to cast the spell, warning Amara of the possible consequences, but Amara did not care. She just wanted to see Ifeoma suffer. The witch cast the spell on Ifeoma, and from that day on, men who looked at Ifeoma saw an ugly face. Women and children still saw her true beauty, but men saw a different, much uglier version. Ifeoma noticed that men who once praised her beauty started avoiding her. It was as though they no longer recognized her. They no longer brought gifts or asked for her hand in marriage. At first, Ifeoma was confused but not too worried. She thought it was just a passing phase. She continued with her daily life, helping her family and waiting for Emeka to return. As the days passed, Ifeoma noticed more men avoiding her. Some even looked at her with disgust. She felt hurt and confused. She didn't understand why men who once admired her were now turning away. One day, Ifeoma's friend, Nneka, came to visit. Nneka was surprised to see Ifeoma looking sad. "Ifeoma, what is wrong? You look troubled," she said. Ifeoma sighed and told Nneka about how men had been avoiding her. "I don't know what happened, Nneka. They used to praise my beauty, but now they act as if I am ugly," she said with tears in her eyes. Nneka hugged her friend and tried to comfort her. "Ifeoma, you are still beautiful. Maybe they are just blind to your true beauty. Don't let their behavior bring you down." Ifeoma nodded, trying to stay strong. She hoped that everything would be much better when Emeka returned. Finally, December came, and Emeka returned to Lagos. Ifeoma was so excited to see him again. She wore her best dress and a bright smile, eager to reunite with her love. She waited at the airport, her heart racing in anticipation. When Emeka arrived, he looked around for Ifeoma, but when he saw her, he was shocked. The woman standing before him looked nothing like the beautiful Ifeoma he remembered. To Emeka, she looked ugly and unrecognizable. Emeka's heart sank. He couldn't believe his eyes. He approached Ifeoma, feeling confused and disappointed. "Ifeoma, what happened to you? You look different," he said, struggling to hide his shock. Ifeoma's smile faded as she saw the look of disgust on Emeka's face. "Emeka, it's me, Ifeoma. I don't understand what you mean," she said, tears welling up in her eyes. Emeka shook his head. "Ifeoma, I can't marry you like this. You are not the same beautiful girl I fell in love with," he said harshly. Without another word, he turned and walked away, leaving Ifeoma heartbroken. Amara finally saw her chance. She pretended to be kind and caring towards Emeka, offering him a shoulder to cry on. She listened to his complaints about Ifoma's changed appearance and comforted him with sweet words. "Emeka, I understand how you feel. Ifoma has changed, but I'm still here for you," Amara said gently, touching his arm. Emeka, hurt and confused, fell for her tricks. He began to spend more time with Amara, seeking solace in her company. Ifoma was devastated. She couldn't understand why Emeka had rejected her. She cried every night, feeling lost and alone. Her heart ached with pain of losing the man she loved. Emeka's absence left a big hole in Ifoma's heart. She stopped smiling and spent most of her days in sadness. Her family tried to cheer her up, but nothing seemed to work. Ifoma's friends also noticed her sorrow. They visited her, bringing food and kind words. But Ifoma still felt alone. One day, as Ifoma was walking home from the market, she saw Emeka and Amara together. They were laughing and holding hands. Ifoma's heart broke even more. She quickly ran home in tears. Tears was streaming down her face that night. Ifoma cried herself to sleep, wondering why her life had turned upside down.